So thanks for coming. I'm Mike Sheffer. I'm the Director of Education for the Foolproof Foundation. High school teacher, 32 years in New York State, one of the founders of Foolproof. Basketball coach, golf coach, offensive coordinator for football. You know how it is. We do everything when we're teaching and coaching. I started Foolproof in my classroom. My whole thought was if a student didn't take a financial literacy course, back then, where are they getting their information? So we started writing lessons. We started putting things together to try to create this online learning community in a digital form. And we came up with this idea, we're going to talk to students, not at students. So how many of you heard of Foolproof and use it? So you have all the videos are embedded in Foolproof. So the PowerPoint for Foolproof and the PowerPoint for Troutwood, okay, and that's a resource I'm going to share with you, is in your files. So all the nuts and bolts, the contact information and all there, I'm not going to bore you with the PowerPoint. I figured we'd just go live and show you the back end of the resource and then show you this partnership that we had with Troutwood. So in my 30 some odd years in the classroom and then being one of the founders of Foolproof, so technically I've been in this space. Foolproof's been around 20 years now. And we're the oldest digital online curriculum. We were kind of ahead of the space at that point. We have over 1.1 million users of Foolproof, over 27,000 teachers in about 11 to 12,000 schools. A lot of teachers in Utah use Foolproof to review for the state exam because everything is online, digital. We grade all your tests, pre and post tests and all that. So I'm just going to show you the back end. The thing with Foolproof is that we are going to teach critical thinking skills, rely on research, be a healthy skeptic when it comes to you and your money. So we're actually teaching them life skills when it comes to their money. But I always thought there was a void in this because some states do it in the 9th grade. Some states do it in the 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. When is right now education? Well, right now education is like when you want something right now. Like if you're going to buy a car, you're searching for a car. If you need an apartment, you're searching for an apartment. You're really not thinking about it at that point. So in reality, we're teaching our kids how to kind of build their financial life, but technically, what do they do? What's the action to it? And that was one of the big things I started to think about. So I came up with these 3 things. I think if we teach our kids these 3 things, I think we can totally change their lives. Number 1, they have to have a relationship with a financial institution. It's number 1. I want non-predators in the building, please. And you know who all the predators are. But the idea is we got to get rid of the check cashing place, the payday loans, all the scam places. We got to get rid of your kids getting paid on a pay debit card, all those different things. This just leads to trouble. Now, we have a lot of parents that aren't banked. Right? You know that. You know your kids better than I do, but I taught in a rural community. I had generations of parents that weren't banked. So there's a program called Bank On. And Bank On is a national program where they can actually get a bank account. Okay? It's a digital bank, but that's how they're doing things anyways now. Okay? Number 2, they got to understand the debt culture. They need to understand that their money's going to work harder for them than they work for their money. But if it's going out the door, there's a problem. So we have to go through and we have to start real simple. Number 1, credit cards. Every kid needs a credit card. I'm not joking. When they turn 18, 19 years old, they got to have a credit card. They got to know how to use it. They got to know how to build credit with it. I'm not Dave Ramsey. I'm not going to put my head in the sand and say, you don't need a credit card. Now, you got to get one that actually works for you, but you have to understand that you got to pay it every month. Number 2, student loan debt. You better get right on that right away. Okay, in my presentation, I believe in diversity of curriculum. I listed all the resources. They're the best resources out there. There's 2 on college. College Money Matters and Understanding FAFSA. FAFSA's a little tough right now. Okay, great resource, 100% free. You guys use NextGen? You should. Now, I'm probably the only other curriculum provider who's going to talk about other people's stuff, but I love diversity of curriculum. Now we got to talk about auto loans with your kids. Okay, I live in Florida now. Flew in from Florida yesterday. Okay, terrible flight. They got here at 3 a.m. You know, but thunderstorms in Florida. There's more trucks in Florida than there are in Utah, I can tell you right now. Everybody wants to buy a truck. Every kid wants to buy a truck. It's amazing to me. I do a lot of work with CTEs. I put them on a Troutwood app, and I take their truck payment, and I put in a Roth IRA for them. A lot of these kids aren't buying trucks when they see how their money can work for them. Auto loans. And then, of course, hopefully, we get them to mortgages. And the last thing that you can do for your kids, there are two ways to do it. And I think the first way is harder, so I'll jump to the second way. If you can get your kids in a Roth IRA when they turn 18, you'll change their lives. I don't care if they put 10 bucks in a month, 20 a month, 30 a month, 40 a month, 50 a month. At 18, it'll change their life. Now, if you can talk the parents into a custodial Roth IRA, that'd be fantastic, but that's 14. Parents are a little leery sometimes. But we've got to teach these kids that they're in charge of their life. So the reason I'm telling you all this is education without action is a waste of time. Now, your kids are sitting in your class, taking your personal finance class. I used to stand at the door. I taught 4 a day. And every kid who walked in, I said, this is all about you today. You're going to be selfish today. This is your life. You want to make a change? This is how we start. And we talk about all the standards, right? Everything that's involved in your teaching. You got to get them to pass the test. I get that. And you're doing a great job. And believe me, your discipline problems in personal finance aren't that great. Because you want them to talk. You want them to have an understanding. Listen, if they don't do the work, they fail, that's fine. I'm old school. But if you're going to be in the class and it's all about you, I think you got a huge leg up over the Shakespeare teacher, don't you? Or the physics teacher, unless they're going to be an engineer. Because technically, everybody's going to get a paycheck, we hope. Everybody's got to manage their money. So, everything I'm talking about is in the PowerPoint. I've learned now that PowerPoints are a waste of time. You can read them at your will. Okay, all that information's in there. But we're going to start talking about what the foolproof, we're going to start with foolproof. I'll switch this over. What the platform does for you. So we have 19 modules in Foolproof for high schools. We align 100% of the standards in the state of Utah. When you create your class and create your curriculum, when your students finish the module and successfully pass the test, the standard's checked off on the back end. Okay? It's done. Number 2, we grade all your tests, pre and post. Every module has a pre-test, every module has a post-test. We embed the test questions in the beginning of the module on the pre. Then they take the post. Then you get a standard learning objective, in and out. So the 485,000 tests were taken last school year. 34.7% standard learning objective increase and decrease in knowledge in and out of module. They're learning something. Okay? The idea in Foolproof is that you guys have been teaching personal finance a long time. Any rookies? I got one rookie, I talked to her. A couple rookies. We're going to give you the stuff you can lean on. We're going to do the heavy lifting for you. But if you've got a great credit lesson, teach that credit lesson. Use Foolproof after it as a supplement. Like I said, the highest usage of Foolproof in Utah is before the state exam. I have the stats. We're getting a score 12.3% higher by using Foolproof prior to the state exam. You don't have to grade anything. I mean, that's kind of the nice thing. So I'm just going to show you the back end quick. To become a Foolproof teacher, you got to register. I'm going to show you how to do that. Because on the back end of Foolproof are all the answers to the tests and everything else. Now, we know your kids cheat. I hate to say that. And they're online and they're saying, oh, so we plant things online to catch them. We're a tech company. So the kid will say to you, hey, the answers to module 6 are right here. Say, click on it. They click on it, it looks like all the answers. Then it says, we just stole your identity. We just stole all your money. Don't be a fool, do the work. So we plant things every 2 weeks to catch them because everybody cheats. So the idea is everybody says on an online curriculum, you guys are going to cheat all the time. Well, I can't control what you do in the classroom, but we can control some of the tech pieces. All right, so let me take you just to the back end of Foolproof, because again, we want to do a lot of stuff. I'm going to go real fast. So this is Foolproof Utah. You got your flyer, foolproofutah.org. This is the landing page for Foolproof. There's tons of information on this landing page. Don't run by it. Use it. Bell ringers, different types of videos you can watch, car buying guides, house buying guides, you know, all these different things are on there. Now remember, we're free, conflict-free, no advertising. I want you to go home tonight and Google, should I take out a car loan or lease a car? See how that goes for you. Your inbox is going to blow up because everybody's going to want you to do it their way, right? Well, in Foolproof, we have those things for your kids. All right, this is how you get to the curriculum. You go to the upper right-hand corner, go to Log In. Go to Teacher Login. Your students will do this under the Student Login. Once you click on the Teacher Login, come on now. If you're a first-time user, if you do not have a Foolproof username and password, you got to fill that out. We want your school email address. 24 hours, you'll get a username and password from us. We have to vet you. Believe me, your fingerprints are all over your school. So we have a program that vets who you are because we don't want kids in there. If you sign up right now, 24 hours, by tomorrow you'll have it. If you don't have it, check your spam once. You know how that works in your school email addresses. If not, you have my contact information. You reach out to me, I'll make sure. It definitely got sent to you. Somehow your school email ate it. That's why we ask for your personal email address if you want to put it in there, but you don't have to. We don't sell any of your information. I mean, again, you know, we're fully privately funded, so we don't have to worry about any of those types of things. All right, once you get your username and password, you just type it in. Make sure I spelled my name right. This print is so small. This is the back end of Foolproof. Okay, now I know it's really small, but this is the whole curriculum back here. Sorry about the projection. Once you're in, you're in. When you're a Foolproof teacher, you get the keys to the car. You get everything. Foolproof for middle school. Any middle school teachers? I got a middle school curriculum. Anybody teaching personal finance in the 9th grade? Thank God.
It's only required, or it's supposed to be 11 and 12.
Yeah, I know. That's why Utah gets the A rating. I was just in Florida. Guess where they're putting it? 9th grade. Useless. I have a joke. I said the joke yesterday. I said to the whole group, there were like 60 of them. I said, what's the best thing about a 9th grader? Lady in the back yells out, nothing. I go, oh, that's just cold. And someone yells, second semester. I go, that's about right. Because 9th graders would come into your building as first semester. They're like deer in the headlights, man. I was the head basketball coach, 32 years in that school. I used to grab the basketball players and say, just get along. Don't speak, just get along. Because I had 2,700 kids in that high school, you know, and I just wanted them to survive to second semester was my goal. The whole idea is that if you have to do a blended curriculum, I would pull some of the middle school into 9th grade, into the high school, because there's some cool stuff in the middle school. The nice thing is you have the ability to do it when you're a Foolproof teacher. All right, the entire curriculum, again, we're online digital. We have how to start your class, how to create a curriculum. I got a full PD on here. I use this joke every time. If you have trouble sleeping, put that video on, and about the 8th minute, you'll take a nice nap. I shot it in front of a fireplace. I look like Mr. Rogers for some reason. I don't know why that was a good idea by the video people, but I don't think it was really a good idea. Click on components. Here's your high school curriculum. Never put anything in your classroom you don't vet. If Foolproof teaches you to be a healthy skeptic, why are you listening from Mike? No one from nowhere, right? Go look at it. Take a look at it. Go through it. You get to see everything. We have 19 modules, activities, and assignments. I would not just use Foolproof. Diversity of curriculum is huge. But There's a lot of good stuff on here. Our crypto module won an award. Kids say it's hard. Good. Crypto's dangerous. It should be hard. We're revamping our gambling module. It's not a how-to, folks. Right? We have a huge problem with high school boys in sports gambling. By the way, those are take 5 years from a high school boy. That's the ones that are in crypto, by the way. There's a pattern here. High school boys have that testosterone pattern that's making them want to get rich quick, and it's not working for them. So we have a lot of information here for you to use. Here's the back end that I want to show you. All this, you can figure out how to do it. Easy to do. I just want to show you a class. You can tell I do a lot of demos. Here's a demo, 4-person class. Sorry, the print's not too big. Up here it says students, progress, grades, component manager, inbox, submit grades, sharing. This is where your class sits. So you can click on every student. We have a Spanish version of Foolproof, a special education version of Foolproof. So if your kid has an IEP, you click on their name and you can switch them to the special education version of Foolproof. I'll give you $100 if you put 2 kids together before the test, if a kid could tell me the difference between each page. We went to a lot of work to make sure that that kid doesn't get something different, except for the exam. The exam, the questions are shorter and the answers are 2 instead of 4 in the multiple choice. If you have diverse learners or language is an issue, put them on the special education version of Foolproof. They will do better. Who's got summer school? I talked to someone in summer school. If anybody's in summer school, credit recovery, put them on a special education version of Foolproof. It'll be easier for you. I'm going to tell you that much. All right? This is how you can check their progress. This is the cool part here. We're going to check their progress in real time. The green box means that they finished the module and successfully passed the test. You can see this real time from anywhere. The percentage, 99 here, means that they have 1% left in the module. So you know where your kids are at all times in the program. The box that's green on top, red on the bottom, means that they finished the module but haven't passed the test. They failed the test. Now, when you set your class up in Foolproof, let them take the test 3 times, 4 times. I got 150 questions per module. I don't want them passing the test, or challenge them. Who wants to take the 80 challenge? I used to put 65 cents on the table, 80 cents on the table, $1 on the table. I said, the state of New York says you're worth 65. That was the passing score in New York. Anybody want to be worth 80 cents on the dollar? The more you know about your money, probably the more your money is going to work harder for you than you work for your money. They said, well, what do we get? Well, you get more money. I said, but who wants to take the dollar challenge? First time, get 100. I incentivized it. I used to pay $1. Funny joke was, I go to my wife and say, I need $125 in ones. She goes, you going to a coaching clinic? I go, no, honey. Everybody good with that joke? Did it go? Okay. So I used to pay out $1. And then I went down to the cafeteria. I said, you got those ice cream coupons? I love ice cream sandwiches. You can tell, you know? So we used to have real ice cream sandwiches back in the day. I'd broker a deal with the cafeteria staff. I said, give me the cost. Don't give me the markup, give me the cost. And I would buy ice cream coupons. And I would incentivize it. If they didn't get 100 and they took it the second time, there was a smaller incentive. So we set it up where you can set up your class where you can put it highest grade. Because you know what's going to happen. Kid gets an 80. He wants to take the 100 challenge. Then he gets a 75 and the computer program gives him a 75. You got to listen to that. So I said, screw that. We'll just make it the highest grade. Take it 3 times. The highest you get was 80. That's what you get. But why? We don't want them to fail personal finance. And I am old school. They don't come to class. They don't do the work. They get what they do. But in reality, I think we can really work on the progress. All right. This is where the standing ovation usually happens. in a millisecond, as soon as they finish their pre-test, it goes to their back end. Martina got 40% on her pre-test. She got 13 out of 16 on her post-test. Someone asked, why 16 questions? I said 17 was too many. You know, I asked your students over 500 questions in Foolproof. I think we got enough questions going on here. The whole idea is that we get the data. So you get to see Martina's data, everyone else in the class, and then the classroom data. And then someone asks, is there a final exam in Foolproof? No. Because if you have a great lesson on credit and you don't do the credit modules in Foolproof, and then you take the Foolproof final exam, I may teach it a little bit different than you did. So what I say is, take the cumulative score. So at the end of their run, you just cursor over, Foolproof will tell you what their average pre, average post, and final increase or decrease in standard learning objective. Just give them the average. That's their final exam. Because you know this curriculum is not the only thing that is being judged for their class, right? You got other stuff you're doing. You got them, what, 20 weeks? 18 weeks? I mean, if you want to do Foolproof start to finish and just do the modules and have them come in, put their headphones on it, I don't like it. I created a monster with Foolproof. I want you to teach. I want you to use our teaching guides, your experience, talk to them about money, share your story, and then let us do the heavy lifting. That's a curriculum. But if you just put them on the modules, anybody doing credit recovery? If you're doing that, it's going to take them probably 3 weeks at 50 minutes a day. Straight on. This is a great sub-plan, by the way. Get them on Foolproof, get them on it. You get jury duty, you got kids who are sick, you're sick, you got parents who are sick. You can check it from home. You can make sure they're doing the work, and they're going to get a lot out of it. So, all I want you to do is play with Foolproof. Does everybody understand how to register? Okay. And why I'm talking, if you're registering, that's fine, because I know what happens when you leave a conference. It's a Tuesday. I would say a Tuesday in July, you may start thinking about financial literacy again. And you say, what was that guy talking about? You know, so that's why I still give out old school flyers. All right? Well, let's talk about Troutwood. This is the crazy stuff. So, I met the CEO of Troutwood, and I was speaking at a financial literacy conference, and he was there, and they had just started it. And I went, wow, this is pretty good. So here's the thing with Troutwood. They believe that every student should graduate with a financial plan. Working financial plan. Now, I don't care where you graduate from. High school, college, JUCO, CTE. Financial plans, you all should have one, by the way. And if you don't, it's never too late. Right? I mean, I'm a retired pensioner from New York State. New York State teachers have the best pension in the country. I started investing my money at 22. I live in Amelia Island, Florida now. I could be the only teacher living in Amelia Island, Florida. The teachers can't live on Amelia Island, Florida. That's why I feel so bad sometimes. The idea is that if you have that combination of the two, like I have my health care paid for me for the rest of my life and my wife until we die. I got CEO buddies who are paying $4,000 a month for health care. Of course, they made millions and millions. I don't feel bad for them. But the idea is that take your pension and group your investments around it. And what can you get done at 55? At 55, I had 33 years in. Sorry. At 55, I started young. Anybody have a spouse who's a teacher? Double teacher pension is the best thing in the world in New York State. That doesn't leverage off. If your wife did 30 and you did 30, you get the number. You know? I mean, it's unbelievable. So, it's never too late. I want to teach kids to invest their money early. I don't want day traders. I don't want gamblers. I want them to understand the process. So the CEO of Troutwood and his team are some of the best software engineers in the company. And I got them to donate the K through 12 space tech for free. So your students can be on the same tech that Troutwood Pro is, that costs anywhere from $25 to $50 a year. They don't pay a thing. No advertising, no conflict. What I help them do is the education around Troutwood Pro. So there's so much on this app. Now, my charge to the Troutwood team, once we decided we were going to partner, which we have, so you can access Troutwood from Foolproof Utah. Then you go off to their app. But I said schools aren't going to let apps in. Like I tried to download Troutwood today in Canyon High School, wherever we are. By the way, beautiful high school. I'm a school guy. Canyon, it wouldn't let me do it because they block them, right? So we got the web version is as good as the app version. So you're ready to go in the classroom. Here's what I want you to do. I want your students to just not do it in school. I want your students to download the app and they can work their plan and they can look at their finances and they can do all that. That to me is action as compared to, oh, I got to build my plan today in class. Well, this is your living plan now. Now, we know your students, a lot of them aren't paying rent. We know they don't have a car payment, some do. So we've put in all these types of tech where they can actually have an adult world. But we built games into it as well. So what I'm asking you to do is if you got your phone out now or your computer, you can do it with me. Just go to troutwood.com. Okay? And in the App Store, you'll go to Troutwood, and there's 3 things you want to download. Troutwood, the game called Buy, Sell, Hold, and the Troutwood Time Portal. But I'm going to do it on the web version right now. Then I'm going to take you to my phone, and we're going to play Buy, Sell, Hold. Buy, Sell, Hold is a game you start with your kids at the beginning of the semester before you teach them how to invest. Buy, Sell, Hold, they play against Finn, who is the AI emoji. This is Finn right here. I got some stickers for you. Finn is going to play against your students. And Finn will probably always beat your students, and because I'm going to give you the cheat code right now. Finn buys every time. But your students won't when they first start it, because they'll say they lost money and now they want to hold or sell. So we built scenarios into the game so the students can see, hey, I want to pay off my student loans in the first 10 years. I'm going to hold. My daughter told me this. It made total sense. 27 years old, graduated high school 3 years, college 3 years, interned at a big firm in Wall Street. Is on Wall Street making more money than I could ever thought she would make. And she told me she did not start her full financial portfolio until 2.5 years in. And I wanted to strangle her. I gave her a Roth IRA at 14. I funded that thing, right? And she didn't, with the money she's making, and she goes, Dad, you have to realize this. A, you need new clothes. You can't go to work in your college clothes. Okay. I needed reliable transportation. And you ever heard of first and last month rent and furniture and all those things? I go, yeah, I lived that life on a teacher's salary. She goes, you've got to talk about that. You got to tell them not to wait because I lost 2.5 years. I go, yeah, you're still making millions. You're fine. But the idea is that we want to start them early. So all this on Troutwood, and again, I'm so sorry about the quality. Just go and play with these things. Take a look at all the classroom, the education. There are teacher guides, student guides, everything that's out there. But we're going to build a plan right now. So we're going to go right here to build a plan. I probably should do this on my phone, to be honest. But I only have, I got 15 minutes. I may try it on my phone. We're going to try it here. I think it may be a little clearer. You guys, if you ever use apps in your class and different things, and it's easier off your iPad because, you know, no apps on your laptop, buy this little HDMI connector to your phone. And there's, oh, see, I got to fly later today. But besides that, so here's my Troutwood app right here. Okay, this is what it sees. It's just the app base. We go to build a plan. Okay, we're going to go either simple plan, or we can go more of a base or a bigger plan, but I just wanted to go to simple. So technically you go to your students, I'm 18 years old. Okay. We don't take any information. I want to show you something though before we get to this. You see this, right? This college and career explore. So I'm a firm believer our kids have no idea what they want to do. They may tell you, but they're going to switch your career 6 different times. Like I wasn't going to be a teacher. I was a finance major. I played college basketball. My coach said to me, the Catholic school needs a 7th grade coach. I gave him your name. I said, I don't have time for that. He goes, you're not going to play that much. You got plenty of time. I said, well, that's just mean-spirited. But the idea was I coached that team, and I went in the athletic director. I said, I need a dual major, education and business. I would have never coached or taught. So this Career Explorer and or the College Explorer, this is all real time. So you can use this. How many of you guys do career exploration part of your, what are you going to do? How are you going to do it? What skills do you need? You don't need to go any further than Troutwood. So they can actually pick their career, right? And then it's the data, how much it's going to make. So I'll give you an example. So we go to Career Explorer. I don't know what I want to do. Of course, this is artificial intelligence. That's Finn. I'm going to go career, and let's say I want to be a accountant. Okay? What the heck? Oh, yeah. Okay. So I could go through, hang on, my location. I can say, how about Salt Lake City? There it is. Kid wants to go to the big city. Salt Lake City, here's my occupational groups. So if I didn't know what I wanted, and let's say we're just going to be quick here. We're going to go business, financial occupations, accountants, and auditors. See how fast that is? Isn't that crazy? So this is the salary for an accountant and auditors, but this is mid-level. This is the job concentration, the outlook, the degree, description of the job, work environment. You know where we're formulating this data from, right? Department of Labor. But we're using all the real stats for the money. See, the money's the key. So what we tell students is, listen, you're not coming out at median. Let's move you down to the beginning. But let's say maybe you were really good in school, so maybe someone's going to offer you that. So now you got a number to work off of. So it becomes real time. But you could have a whole lesson on picking these and going through it, but then deciding. The reason we picked Salt Lake City was we're going to get how much it costs to live in Salt Lake City as compared to, what's this town? Draper or Provo or anywhere else. So you have all this data at your hands going through it, okay? So now I got my numbers. Going back, going to build my plan. Explore careers. We don't need to do it anymore. And then, how are you going to become an accountant? Sorry, wrong one. I'm going to College Explore. Now I start looking at colleges. Put Utah in. All the colleges in Utah. University of Utah. All the data, demographics, student debt profile, tuition and costs. Everything's right there. So when they're now looking at this process, it's not just guessing. If you tell a kid, do you want to be a millionaire by 40? Yes. Well, how are you going to get there? Okay, well, I want to be an accountant. I want to, these are the things I'm going to do. As you go through this, you start looking at, all these different types of educational tools. Now for you guys, this doesn't cost you anything, but if you want the emails that come from Troutwood, create an account. There's no advertising, no cost to Troutwood. Okay, but you'll get the emails and different things on the updates. It's important. Okay, now we go to build a plan. Simple plan, 18 years old. Okay, gonna live in Salt Lake. Okay. Cost of living's done in Salt Lake already. Find a career. Want to be an accountant. Done. Here's your plan. That's how fast it is. So, now, here's your likelihood. Your goal was $1 million. Your likelihood is 74%. Your estimated value is $1 million. Your adequacy is 24%. Then you start looking at all these different things. You go monthly, weekly, living essentials. We have guides for all this. In the surplus, so you start looking at the plans you may want. So here's the investor profile, millionaire maker. All these different plans. A lot of them, the Roth IRA maximizer. Okay, the max on a Roth, I think, will go to 7,000. It's like 67 now or something like that. Choose this investor profile. Here's your goal. Here's your plan. Everything's done. Now your likelihood 63%. Your estimated projected value is 55 million. Adequacy is 133%. All your numbers. And then you go down and start working it. Your life hacks, your add-ons, your budgets, all those different things. Everything is at their fingertips. Now, the first time I went through all this, my head was going to explode. Like it was so much detail. So in the teaching guide and the study guide for the students, we break it step by step by step. Now, you're not building their plan in week 1 of your personal finance class. That makes absolutely no sense. We have to get to that point. When do you do your investing part? Last? Middle? Okay. I like middle. I don't want day traders, right? If we do it in the last 3 weeks, we're creating gambling. This is what I'd like you to do. All right. If you haven't downloaded the app, don't worry about it. I'll do it. Buy, sell, hold is one of the coolest things I think I've come across. Buy, sell, hold is a game. This is Finn. He's your AI person, right? So your students are gonna compete against Finn when they play this game. So we'll just say start the game. You can either do it solo or you can take the next gen quiz. See what I love about diversity of curriculum? We talked to Tim Ranzetta. You want to be involved in Troutwood? Yes. How do you want to be involved? We got his quizzes. So your kids can take the quizzes. When they answer them right, they get more money to invest. Okay? Again, you can add your own in or anything, but we've done it for you. So let's just click solo right now. How this game is played, it's going to go 42 years. That's the average investment time for an 18-year-old or 20-year-old. They're going to have to go until they're 62, 64, 65, wherever. We just want 42 as the basis. So you either buy, you sell, or you hold. You play the game with your kids without telling them anything. Just let them play. Then they got it, and then they invest. They're going to do $1 a day, $15 a day, or $10 a day. Now, think about it. $30 a day. I wasted $30 at the bar 2 nights ago. Had booze at home, went out with my buddies, $30, gone. 150, it's a little bit more aggressive night. 300, your kids aren't going to be able to put 300 in, but remember, this is over 42 years. So I would have them play the game at 1, then play the game at 5, and then play the game at 10. and explain to them this is you and your future. Okay? Now, we'll just do random years here. So I'm going to pick $5. Here's Finn. You're going to play against Finn. And it tells them they're going to invest 42 times. Finn's going to be the purple line. You're going to try to beat Finn, is what you tell your kids. Take a look when I do scenarios. Scenarios are a great teaching tool. All right? There's scenario 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these things that are really life hacks. Like scenario 1, you're going to pay your student loans off. So for the first 10 years, you hold in the game. You don't buy, you don't sell. You're not in. Okay? And then scenario 2 tells you how to do it. Scenario 3, I like playing the scenario games with the kids one a day when you introduce this. Now, here's the problem with buy, sell, hold. I've been promised the app will be on the web on August 1st. Because if not, they're going to have to download buy, sell, hold, play it on their tablets, so you'll have to get it cleared through the school. Now, if it's not August 1st, it may be September 1st. You know how designers are. But the idea is that you'll be able to have this right away to use. So, if they do the scenario, they hold for 10. I'm not going to do the scenario. I'm going to play. So in year 1, with my $5 a day, Finn is playing against me. I got $18.25 to invest. Right? Did the math, got the fees and everything else, so I'm going to buy. So when a kid sees the green, sees the money, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to buy again. Oh, I did good again. Yeah, did good again. Oh, I lost a little money here. Don't tell them how to play. Let them buy, let them sell, let them hold. Now, this isn't made up statistics. These random years are the S&P 500 since the beginning of the S&P till today. There's 13 million data points on this. Now, if you're very unlucky, you may get the Great Depression years or the downturn. But in reality, what's the S&P gains over a 20-year? They measure them every 20 years. What is it? 12%'s a little high. It's 10 to 12. You don't think you want to be in this game? You're getting 10 to 12? What's online savings getting you right now? Online, not in your credit union or your bank. Online savings. 4.2. Who said 4.6? So right now, here's a tip for you. You got cash laying around. Every time I say this to teachers, they start laughing. You know, I am you, by the way. But my son's getting married. My daughter just got married last year. How's my cash flow? So what I put a lot of cash in the American Express online savings. I don't get any money for saying this. I get 4.6% monthly. I get a statement every month, and I got like $380 in interest. I'm like doing a jig. So I wrote my son a check on Memorial Day. I do still write a check, by the way. I don't do Venmo. So I wrote him a check. I said, here, this is for the start of the expenses. This is a number we had agreed on. Here's a third. And my wife goes, you didn't take that money out of American Express Savings, did you? I go, no, I took it out of another account. I mean, it's making money. That's the beauty right now. Now, if you're out buying a house or a car, I feel bad for you. But let's take advantage of it. This is the first time where money's making money as compared to everything else. So the market is rising there. All right, so I'm going to finish this up. Finish playing. I'm going to play, and I'm just going to buy. Now, granted, your kids aren't going to do this. When it's done, here's the results. I bought 42 times. Finn bought 42 times. See? But remember, I only put 5 in a month, or 5 in a day, 150 a month, right? This is my total money in. This is my gain loss. And then if I cursor down, I invested in real data between 1950 and 1991. I hit a couple of hard points here. You can click on this and your students can see what was happening in the world between those two dates. I mean, there's so much data on this. And then you go do your lesson. Whatever you're doing. The next day they come in, you say, hey, playing buy, sell, hold. Today we're doing scenario 2. And they have to all do it together. And then let them get done. And they can see everybody's numbers should be the same for the first whatever scenario is, and then to see if they bought and sold. I'm working with the developers right now to have this go into your attendance. Your kids walk in, play buy, sell, hold. You register. It automatically takes attendance for you. Because I hated taking attendance. I said, well, if they're going to play buy, sell, hold every day, you all right? So now you're working in it. I have a teacher in an Excel sheet writing down the buy, sell, hold numbers to see how they're doing. You know, we're doing this, like not giving them a ton of knowledge. And then we start layering in the knowledge. And then we go play Finulator. Finulator is them living life in a 15-minute game. And then we build the plan. And then we work the plan. And by the time they leave, your kids are real excited about their life. Because even in a bad time with Finn at $5 a day, and I bought every year, I had what? Add that to your pension. Right? Now remember, we want them in more than one fund. How about the 40, the match? I have employers buying Troutwood Pro to give it their employees in the benefit package because they can't get them all in the match. Get in the match. It's free money. They put it in the app. And they can say, oh my God, I'm leaving $1.5 million on the table if I stay with this company. Employers want it sticky for them to leave too. Like they don't want them leaving. You train a mid-level manager, you put all that time and effort into them, and they're going to leave for $5,000 more a year. They call it the hidden paycheck. We're going to show you what we do for you. This is real education. Now, you got to have a curriculum. There's so much on Troutwood that you just kind of do a deep dive. As you go into it, we already talked, the state of Utah is going to do something big with it. It's never going to cost you a nickel. There's no advertising. There's nothing on it, just like Foolproof. Now we have some school districts, the big ones. LA, I'm going to LA. You saw it, got to fly. I'm doing LA County schools, and they want Troutwood for their teachers. They want pro. That's how Troutwood can be free, because they're going to charge every teacher in LA, paid by the district, $25 a year. That's a lot of money. You know, it's only 480,000 employees in LA County schools. I mean,
I grew up there. So.
Yeah, and it's a mess. But the idea, so all I want you to do is play with it. Take a look at it, see what you like. I think your kids will like it. I'm doing around the year webinars in person, or sorry, not webinars, in-person events. I had 1,400 seniors the other day in a New York school. They all played buy, sell, hold. 1,400 in the auditorium, had them for an hour and a half. I was like, are we going to have people to help me? 88% of them were on the app. They want to see their future like this. Now, if, again, we can bring them to water, can we make them drink, is the big key. Questions?
So for right now, the only way to play buy, sell, hold is they have to be on
the app.
And there's nothing,
It's,
what information is it collected?
oh, zero. You cannot take any information. So there's no information taken on Troutwood right now. If you as an adult go to pro, all your information, again, is protected, but you're an adult. There's no information taken. But the app will remember them when they go ahead and they sign back in. If they built a plan and they saved the plan, it'll save the plan on their app, and it'll save it on their web version. But no username, no password, nothing. So there's a lot of tech involved. Yes, sir?
You mentioned that when I was gathering the data from buy, sell, hold on those Excel spreadsheets.
Yeah.
How's he getting that data?
He's just, so when the kids are done, because we haven't exported it yet, when the kids are done, he's saying, what was your number? He's typing it in. But he gave me that idea. Until we get to that point,
It's not automated.
it's not automated.
Oh, you can
It's,
fill out the little
oh yeah.
survey thing.
It's coming. Because I think it's a great idea. I mean,
You could link it somehow to the foolproof account or the Trout.
no, we can't link it to Foolproof. They're going to be totally separate because one's a .com, one's a .org. Thank you for coming. Anybody else? Yeah, so the one thing we talk about, there's flyers there and everything. When you're a digital company, go play. You can't break it. And then when you start looking for teacher guides and all that, everything is right there for you. The CEO of Troutwood also wrote this best-selling book called The Missing Semester. He's put the book out for free on Troutwood with quizzes and lesson guides. So, lots of resources. Everybody good? All right, thank you. Thanks for coming. Enjoy your rest of your summer.